Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Matt from MTM Family Farms. What is today? Wednesday? I so lost track of time with the holiday. I don't know about you guys, but I seriously thought it was Tuesday. Anyway, so this 5R110 has really been racking my brain. And let me tell you why. So last week, Tina was coming home. She was empty with the 4-horse goose coming up from Dunstone. It's a pretty good incline. Will make your truck work a little bit, but she was empty. Shouldn't have never been an issue. She got about halfway up and heard a loud boom, and then the truck would no longer go forward. Turns out it would no longer go reverse under its own power as well. So we got the truck home. I pulled the transmission out. I've got it disassembled, and I've started my search for what the heck went boom. Before I pulled it out of the truck, I did some diagnostics. I pulled the codes. The codes pointed to an issue with the coast clutch assembly or the coast clutch pressure circuit. Book said with those two particular codes that we had, to change the coast clutch solenoid on the valve body, or another possible issue is a failure mechanically somewhere in the trans. The fact that she heard a boom told me that she's got to have a mechanical failure somewhere. So, got everything apart, started looking at everything. I started with the case. I know one of the issues with these 5R110s is you could actually break off tangs inside the transmission, which might cause a boom. You could actually put a hole in the side of the case. You could break off tangs off the outside of the case. Looking at this whole case, it's in excellent shape. Nothing is broken. Nothing's missing. It's like, well, hell, let's keep looking. So starting at the back of the trans and working my way all the way forward, I started looking at everything. I mean, everything is in excellent shape. Considering this has got 192,000 miles, all the bushings look good. All the bearings look good. Even the steels and frictions look half decent for having 192,000 miles. I mean, so you can look at this one here. So this is out of the coast clutch. The coast clutch frictions still look really good. Now, the steels are a little glossed over. Okay? And these are probably the worst out of the whole transmission. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the color change. But a lot of the other clutches don't have as much wear. I mean, look at this one. Looks freaking brand new. So about 2,000 miles ago, I had an issue with the harness. I replaced the harness, put a new one in there, serviced the transmission. When I dumped the fluid after this, it was burnt. It was so brown. I mean, it was more brown than the leg of this stand right here. It was crazy. I didn't understand that. So I started looking for what the hell burned up. Well, the most metal that I found in the whole transmission was in the back. That was the most metal fuzz that I found. Nowhere else in the transmission have I found any other metal except out back. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's not too out of the ordinary to have that much metal fuzz. And it wasn't very much, believe me. So I worked my way forward, got up here to the coast clutch assembly, which here's your coast clutch drum. And then those steels and frictions are actually inside here. I had no broken snap rings. I thought for sure I'd find a broken snap ring because that's another one of the problems with these transmissions. Didn't find a single broken snap ring. Pulled off the coast clutch drum. Unbolted. Well, once I did that, that's when I saw where my burnt hydraulic fluid came from. So I don't know if you can kind of see that on the return springs. Coast clutch, piston return spring. Okay, so you had 3 really bad burn spots on this coast clutch return spring, which correlate to really bad burn spot there. She'll focus, and then the whole face of the drum had been riding on that spring assembly. So I started scratching my head. Why the hell is that drum contacting that spring? There's no bearing here. There's no excessive wear on the face here or on the face of the drum on the other side there. It really freaking baffled me. So I took that off. I'm looking at this. I took the piston out. Took a look at that. I disassembled the pump. Couldn't find anything there. I'm like, none of this fucking shit makes sense. Did a little bit more homework, a little bit more research. I've got, I've got the Ford service manual. I've got the ATSG book on the 5R110, which is a really, really great book for rebuilding these transmissions. Doesn't offer a whole lot of help for, here's your symptom, this is what you need to do to fix it. So I started doing some more research online, and I found some articles and some information about that thing. And never once last night did I even note or notice that while I was fiddle farting around with this thing, that you could do that. That piece is supposed to be welded to that piece. So when you look at this, it's broken off and then wore itself down. Same thing here. Let's see if we can see it there. So yeah, you can kind of see where it was welded together. They probably friction welded these two pieces together. And then what I have found reading online is that this is actually a pretty common failure. Usually it's this snap ring right here holding this piston assembly together that breaks in half and causes the coast clutch assembly to separate from itself. So after 2 days, that's what went boom. And yeah, so now we're gonna move on to trying to get this thing rebuilt on a budget. And I've already got a new transmission on the way, just so I can get the 6.0 back on the road. And I'm gonna work on this one in my off time and get all the pieces and parts I need. From what I've read, that brand new from Ford is 7 bones. I don't see $700 sitting there, but apparently that's what they cost. So I think I'm gonna try to find a decent used one on eBay. And just take a really, really good look at it. If it's decently priced, I'll go ahead and buy it. Otherwise, I might bite the bullet and get a new one. Get all new frictions and steels, seals, bearings, bushings. Clean everything. Super, super good. I haven't looked at the pressure relief valves in the pump yet. I haven't taken them out, but I have a feeling that my high pressure is due to the metal from that thing getting circulated through the whole trans and clogging up the relief valve. Probably is what already clogged up the the coast clutch solenoid as well. So it's going to be a really, really big task to get all this stuff like super, super duper clean. But I think that's going to be our plan here, and then just have this one built and sitting on the shelf, ready to go. So if this ever happens again, I've got another trans, and the truck's only down for half a day, because these things are actually super duper easy to pull in and out of the truck. I'm going to be honest, I was scared, really scared to pull this tranny out, because it's big, it's heavy, it's bulky. But once I did it, I was like, that wasn't actually too bad. So I could probably do this in about 4 hours by myself. So that's the plan. Anyways, I appreciate all you guys for watching after 10 minutes of me rambling. But that's the update on the 6.0.